In today's video instruction, we're going to go over the song Misty, version 2.7, Quasi-Block. I'll perform the arrangement as I wrote it, and then I'll go back and talk about specific measures. So, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3. So in the beginning, first measure, we're going to play, actually throughout the song we'll play all the chords open, which means our left hand will play 1, 5, 7. The right hand will play typically 3, 7 melody. I'll describe the right hand only because the left hand is going to be constant 1, 5, 7 pretty much. So right hand's 3 melody, right hand's 3, 7 melody, right hand is 7, 3 melody, 3, 7 melody. Now, here comes the quasi-block. Now, this is very important. Typically when I have a very active melody, I have 5 melody notes there, very active melody, but a static harmony, right? The harmony for that entire measure is F major. No matter what fake book lead sheet you're looking at or what arrangement verbatim that you're looking at, that whole measure is usually F major 7, or F major. So I said instead of playing single melody notes, which is pretty boring, I'm going to harmonize those melody notes. In other words, put notes of F major tonality underneath the melody. So I get F major 7, F6, right? My melody is F. I don't want to do an F major 7. I'd like to, but it won't work because that 7th tone crowds the melody. So I chose 6 because it's further away and does not crowd that melody note. So F major 7 because of the melody being 7th, then F6, invert it again, invert F6 again, and then F major 7 again because the melody is the major 7th. So you are forced to play F major 7, which is good. It's a very colorful chord. So I'm thinking tonality is F the whole way, and I'm going to either play F major 7s or F major 6s. Right? 3, 7 melody, 3, 6 melody, 3, 7 melody, 3, 7 melody, 3, 7 melody, to 3, 7 melody, 3, 7 melody. If you can't reach that 3, 7 melody, then roll it. Okay, and then this would be typically 3, 7. You could play 7, 3. If you want to technically hold that melody note, 3, 7 or 7, 3, 3, 7, and then 3, 7, etc. Okay, let's go to measure 11. Quasi-block style in measure 11. We basically have a C tonality. Again, a very active melody, but the tonality or the harmony for that entire measure is C major. Some books will be C major 6, some will be C major 7, but it's C major the whole way. So again, I want a fuller sound than single notes or even one chord. I want to harmonize that entire measure. So basically I'm thinking C major 6. I could try C major 7, but that won't work because I'm crowding melody. You don't want any melody notes within a whole step excuse me, you don't want any notes within a whole step of the melody. So here's the melody. I can't do the major 7, so I chose C6. Now here is D diminished 7, but it's really functioning. How did I get that chord? Well, I thought, okay, G7 is the strongest pulling chord, right, to a C. So I know my next chord is going to be C. So I say to myself, well, let's get the important notes of G7, because G7 wants to move to a C. So here we go. So here's the notes of G7, the important notes of G7, the 7, the 3, the 5, and instead of playing the root, I could play the root, but there's not much color there, so instead of playing the root of G7, I played the flat 9, a little bit of color. So essentially this chord, I'm thinking G7 flat 9, and I'm just playing it quasi-block all on the right. 7, flat 9, 3, 5, all the important notes of the G7 flat 9. Again, why am I thinking G7 flat 9? Because G dominant, G7, G7 flat 9, all G dominant chords want to go to C. So if I know my target chord is a C, I can try and insert its respective 5 chord. C is my target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G7 wants to go or pull towards C6. So C6, essentially G7 flat 9 without the root. And it obviously inverted, but it looks like a D diminished 7, or as well as an F diminished 7. So C6, essentially G7 flat 9, or D diminished 7. Back to C6s and their inversions. There's a 3-7 melody, strike the 3rd. 3-7 melody. 3-7 melody, and then strike the 3rd. Now here's my D minor 7s. So D minor 7 is the tonality. I'm going to play root because the melody is the C. Root, first inversion, second inversion. Now here, I'm going to play a chord that pulls very strongly, demands resolution, to D minor 7. If D is my target, D minor 7 chord, then the strongest pulling chord to that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, its respective 5 chord, which is A7. So I could play A7 there, right? A7 to D minor. Well, because we're doing quasi-block, I want to put all the notes, the important notes of A7 in the right hand, and instead of playing the root, I'm going to play the flat 9. So that gives me a de facto B flat diminished 7. But the way I got that, this is very important, is I thought, what is the strongest pulling chord to a D minor? And the answer to that is A7. And I just changed the root to the B flat for more color. So essentially I'm thinking A7 flat 9. See how that sounds, A7 flat 9 going to D minor? So I just chose now to put the important notes, the 3 of A7, the 5 of A7, the 7 of A7, and then the flat 9 of A7. And then I get lots of color, which demands that A7 flat 9, or B flat diminished 7, demands resolution to D minor. We're off to the races. Now we got 3-7 melody, 3-7 melody, 3-7, 3-7 melody, just 3 in the melody, then do closed, closed, and then 3-7 back there. Okay, so very important concepts. Basically, you want to think when you have a very active melody, that's when you want to do quasi-block, because you really cannot put in any different colors, any different harmonies there, but you want a fuller, more rich, enhanced sound. Okay? So have fun with Misty 2.7 Quasi-Block. And if you'd like to view some more instructional videos, go to my website, pianoweb.com, or you can go to YouTube and type in, do a search under YouTube for Piano Web Man. If you'd like to listen to some free audio instructional podcasts, go to my newest website, Jazz Piano World, one word, jazzpianoworld.com, and you can also hear me playing some arrangements on soundcloud.com. Have fun and practice hard.